I would like to speak about the case decided by the court relating to the assassination of Norbert Zongo, an investigative journalist in Burkina Faso. In 1998, Norbert Zongo was traveling in a car with 3 of his colleagues, and the car was found burned by the roadside, and the 4 occupants, had died in the vehicle. Now, it was very well known that Zongo was investigating corruption within Burkina Faso, and the case he was investigating involved a brother of the then president, President Compaoré. Now, that brother was also the head of the Presidential Guard. Now, investigation started, and a number of people were arrested, taken to court. The person who was charged was not well, and the matter eventually was withdrawn, and the cases went round through the judicial system of Burkina Faso for more than 10 years without the real killers being arrested and taken to court. So it was brought to the African Court on Human Rights by the Burkinabe Movement for Human Rights, and the case was heard, and the court found that there had been a violation of rights provided for in the Charter and other human rights instruments ratified by Burkina Faso, because no investigations are taking place as they should have. With respect to violation of the right to life, the court found that there was no such violation because at the time the assassination took place, Burkina Faso was not party to the protocol establishing the court. And this was not a matter where one could say it was a continuing violation, because life is death is instantaneous, and therefore the court did not deal with that aspect. But the court found violation of other rights, the right to have one's cause heard, equal protection before the law, and in the end, it found that Burkina Faso had violated the provisions of the African Charter on Human Rights, the ECOWAS Treaty, the ICCPR, and Burkina Faso was ordered to reopen investigations and also to pay compensation to the family of Zongo. One of the other important aspects of that case is with regard to reparations and whether family members can be considered as victims. And in fact, the court found, yes, family members can be considered as victims, and went on to award damages for moral prejudice, material and moral prejudice to the family of Zongo, not just the wife, but also the parents. And with regard to execution of the judgment by Burkina Faso, again, we are pleased to know that Burkina Faso has implemented the judgment. The case, the investigation to the case was reopened. The case was reopened. Investigation, and in fact, 3 people were arrested and taken to court. I believe the matter is still pending, and the damages were paid. The only thing that we have no evidence has been done is with regard to publication of a summary of the case in a newspaper within Burkina Faso and in the official gazette. We don't have that information yet. But it is a very important case in terms of the jurisprudence on the fight against impunity, particularly and safety of journalists. Safety of journalists and the fight against impunity, particularly insofar as it affects journalists in their work or in the exercise of their profession.